Okay, so here we are. I couldn't find any shade, but we're gonna do the best we can with this. The car battery, for some reason, was kind of hard to start the car. I would like to get a brand new car someday, you know? And I tell you, I'm realizing that until you really know yourself, you don't know the steps you need to take, and once you realize it, you realize you might have to just arm wrestle with people you would have never wanted involved in arm wrestling with before. Here we go. In 2012, Tracilyn, I mentioned him. I don't want to go into the details of how the dream came about, but I snapped mentally. I'm under a great deal of stress. It's like a whole nother life. It's not the life instilled inside my head that God showed me. I was confused, and government, if I would have known how to get my needs met when I was already in a hospital, and I already knew mentally I couldn't function working for $8 an hour for only a couple hours a week, I'm not gonna be able to live on that. I can't live like that. Who can? I need health insurance. Why don't you tell me what I can do? Well, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter what Donald Trump says you can do. What it really matters is, what does God, who has all say? That's right, it doesn't matter. And I would tell him that to his face. He's in a position to be a servant to those of us in America for life. The best interest of all for life. That's right. With that being said, when you realize that things like health insurance, things like the means, finances to live reasonably, means for housing, okay, Tracilyn, we get it. We're all being screwed. And let me tell you, it's up to the American people to give the government a nice wake up. They need to get on top of things now and straighten out the cost of living variances on welfare versus people who are getting public assistance in general, which is the only intelligent means for people to be alive. With that being said, we're going to discuss the matter as we add up the realness of the cost of living just in Dayton, Ohio. And then we add up what the government has available for the people. And you will find out it is not. It is not what is necessary for one to live, period. And let me tell you something. In my opinion, the whole problem for the country can be straightened out, which would be nice, or my personal problem can be straightened out because I have something to offer, which is people. I approached Donald Trump in the music industry for years. I have songs. I'm an entertainer. I'm a rock and roller. All right, Donald Trump, I don't want to hear Bon Jovi, Aerosmith, Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, and all these people on the radio for years and years and years as though there's something more special than the rest of the American people. I have something to offer in exchange for a beautiful life for many people, actually. We could put many people to work just because Tracilyn's Rock and Roll Ministries forms together and goes on tour. Now, I might not be Donald Trump's personal problem, but the problem is I'm in a problem that we all suffer from. And it's called, what? Lack of compassion for the American people and support in freedom to live and fulfill the life inside their heads. Should have been taught right for number one. And then number two, we would all be creating and we'd want to give to one another in efforts to get through this life and maximize our fullest potential in enjoyment. We shouldn't be going through as many hardships that we're going through. I snapped mentally because there's no way in the world that things are going to work out with me working at Walmart. Not living in the household I'm living at too. There's no way it's going to work for me. For me. I can't mentally sustain working at Walmart all day long. I have very little given to me in exchange for it. Alright? I'm being delusional, trying to snap my brain into accepting me working here for as little as I was receiving, going home to a home that I was being laughed at, possibly threatened to move, and then I was burying myself in Joel Osteen. And I created a new vision of my life. Put a picture on my wall. I meditated on it. It came to life inside my head. The person I really want to be. Las Vegas showgirl, very childlike. Not the way you think it is, Las Vegas showgirl. My way. With that being said, I snapped. Stephen C. Johnson has electronic harassment equipment, Donald Trump. What do you think of that? Stephen C. Johnson lives on Old Lakeshore Drive in Derby, New York, back in 2010. He's connected to Willie Nelson's production company, Lucky Films. Is it? Productions? Stuntman Kerry was there and a few other people. Now let me tell you something, Donald Trump. I'm convinced that Stephen has electronic harassment means to harass me. Are you aware of that? And if so, what steps are you taking in the best behalf of the American people to prevent electronic harassment from happening in the future? Don't you think that Stephen should be penalized, imprisoned, incarcerated, maybe even put to death for his doings? He's literally tapping into my brain, all my thoughts. I'm sure everybody in political positions is aware of people who do electronic communications. What are we doing about it to protect the American people and inform them of the truth of what's happening and how it can be used in benefit and how it can be used against the American people? In my case, it's being used against me. Okay? He's a psychopath that needs to be locked up in prison. Stephen C. Johnson. I need a lawyer and I need a private investigator or a police officer to arrest him. Investigate his home, his possessions. I'm convinced that it's him. Notice that his name and everything is slowly disappearing from the internet. Why is that? Now, I snapped because electronic harassment came to me with a dream. And in that dream was God asked me, don't I have faith? Don't I trust God? Why aren't I going to Las Vegas? Which showed me a picture of the Las Vegas picture I posted on Facebook. Whenever you post stuff on Facebook, know that people with electronic harassment, they can use those images in your dreams. They can use voice recognition by actors and actresses and TV personalities, politicians, to come to you in your dream. I had Elvis come to me in my dream. This could or could not have been from electronic harassment. We'd like to say it's not. Elvis had a love affair with me, you know. The king of rock and roll. What do you think Priscilla would think of that? Elvis would not love a transsexual female, do you think? I think he loves me. Elvis, the king of rock and roll. Does that piss Priscilla off that I would mention that? I hope not. But if it does, so what, Priscilla? Get over it. But if it doesn't, then okay, that's good. Now here's the thing, check this out. Did I ever tell you that I always wanted to hug and kiss Lisa on the cheek? I did. Why? Because she's the king's daughter. She probably gets told that a lot. And then she gets told that a lot. Everybody wants to hug her and kiss her and meet her. Little Lisa. Now here's the thing, check this out. Do you do business do you manage business, music business, Lisa? That would be a hell of an investment. If you ever want to give up your musical career, you know, or at least lay it on the side hand, give it a good decade and run. You have children to tend to, I guess. Music management, you'd be the best. Very best team. Busy. A lot of fun. And here's the thing, check this out. Check this out. No, you gotta listen to this. Wouldn't that be fun? Imagine Lisa, you know, teaming up with you to rock and roll ministry. That would be fun. King's daughter. Not just because of that. Something tells me she needs somebody in her life that can separate the difference. Yeah, we all do. Now here's the thing, check this out. I loved a lot of the co-workers, very much. There are people here in general, especially a lot of the girls, that touched my heart. I'm not going to mention all the names. Thank you for accepting me, especially as female, especially in the restroom. Thank you for all the wonderful times we had together, working together, laughing, especially in the beginning when I needed a lot of help. A lot of how do you do this? How do you do that? Can I get you to help me with this? Do you know the number for that? I'm sorry that I came to you, but I'm grateful I did because in my opinion, it brought us closer. Some of you were going through some harsh things in your personal life, challenging. I was too. I told you I was going to Las Vegas. I had dreams. What I realize now is I have a vision. It's much different. I had dreams. And I returned. After a near-death tragedy. Because it was no God that called me to go to Las Vegas. That was a little butterball up in New York trying to influence me to my death. That's where I met the Bret Michaels, supposedly look-alike. For some reason, he showed me his driver's license to show me it was not Bret Michaels' self. After we were in the hotel room and got it on. Mommy loves her little Bret Michaels look-alike cowboy. If he's still out there, he should contact me. Thank you for the what? Good time in my hotel room. Here's a quickie. Now here's the thing, check this out. That's when I realized when I was in Las Vegas, wouldn't it be great if there were escorts, celebrities, lookalikes, whether it be Bret Michaels, Elvis, Lisa, who knows who, just lookalikes. Date a lookalike in Las Vegas. You want the real deal, let's just face it. But the fantasy was, and so it was. Now here's the thing, check this out. No, you do, and I'm not saying me, you do. I want the man of my dreams, that's what I want. Not just the man of my dreams, I want the man that God has for me. He a man of truth. He a man who loved God. And he a man who don't care what people think on who he chooses to love. And he has at least a little bit of Italian blood in him. I would like that. If not, we can always go down to the local blood drive, hospital, and ask our doctor, family doctor, would you do us a favor and inject this tube, this vial, you know, imagine that, this vial of Italian blood into my sweetheart. Not me, I'm German, you know, mixed with a whole lot of other stuff. I might have some Italian in me. I don't think so, according to my brother's history trait of what he did with me. I think so. Here's the thing, check this out. What I wanted to share with you really quick, I learned a lot. Walmart, I I learned. People used to come to this Walmart off of the interstate, okay, which is about approximately, realistically, a 5-minute drive with red lights. 3 to 5 minutes off of the interstate. But now the time to come in here, park, get in line and wait to talk to me and then get back on, you're probably looking at about 20, 25 minutes, maybe a half an hour, depending on how busy things were, where they had to park at, what they were doing while they were there. And can I tell you, they would literally, I had somebody literally drive off of the interstate of 75 here, wait in line, not to buy anything, but they wanted to smile at me and tell me that they think of me a lot. And they wanted me to know, they felt I needed to know that they have made me very happy. Just because of the service I provided them at Walmart. Can you imagine that? I didn't just hear this once, and I'm not stroking any ego. Can I tell you that this was life-changing for me? So people were actually waiting in my line. There was more people that waited in line. They didn't even buy anything. Did you ever have that happen working at Walmart? If not, it's coming really soon. All that love and all that patience and the fruits of Jesus Christ is what I had to exercise. Bite my lip a lot of times, don't we all? All the children in the carts. I wanted bad to hug them. Some of them I did. I'd say, come here, let me hug you. I lost track of the fact that I am a Walmart employee. And I just started being a human being that cares about other people. I want to have fun. I care about the moment. I want to feel some love. Will you give me some love? Walmart, do you mind if I lay this sweet Italian man over the register? Pull down the blind. Didn't we all want to do that? Can't do that. And you can't. It's an automatic dismissal. And I'm sure the Dayton, Ohio police will be waiting for you to speak with you in the security room. Why'd you do that? Not here. Maybe someday Walmart, when it's closed during a holiday season like Christmas, will have that one Walmart that maybe the peers that are high management smiles, unlocks the door and lets Tracilyn and someone very special inside. And maybe they have something very special already set up. And they say, take your time, we don't open until what time today or tomorrow. Wouldn't that be sweet? Only if you were with somebody very special. And if you were with somebody that could actually make that happen, you're doing fine. Mama, I got me the big fish out of the pond. Big fish out of the ocean, Mama. Mama, he connected. He connected. Mama would be very happy for me, wouldn't she? Maybe even jealous. Better not tell Mama. Better not tell anyone. Hi, everyone. This is Tracilyn, also known as VCAT. I'm about ready to be romanced here in Walmart. Goodbye. Yeah, I'll give you I'll give you a little bit of insight later on. They don't want me to tell anyone. Can you keep this one private, Tracilyn? Now check this out. CJ was a gentleman that used to come here to Walmart. I don't know what his age was exactly. Probably around 60-ish, maybe older. He's a short guy, shorter than me, skinny, very good looking, very attractive, very kind-hearted. And he used to actually sit here at the subway. And he would watch me work. He just watched me. Imagine that. Imagine somebody coming. Would you be creeped out by it? Would you be impressed by it? You just sit there and watch. But guess what? I'm a very friendly person, and I try not to judge too harshly. Now, was he the exact idea of somebody I would date? Yes. Maybe not my... How do you answer it? How could you not want to date somebody that watches you work? You're there alone. You can only kind of imagine the life that they may have or had. We finally started to talk. He used to say baby, 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 baby whenever he would see me. Baby, 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 baby. That's what would replay. He would repeat when he would see me. In other words, something about me did something to him that was pretty extraordinary. He was head over heels over me. And he made the holiday season in 2011 absolutely wonderful. And I would actually meet with him on my breaks to talk. And one time, he actually invited me to his place, and I gotta admit, with Walmart's policies, isn't this challenging sometimes? Because you know you could just put on your very best, and the man of your dreams or somebody or friends could walk in, and next thing you know, you're hanging out with them. You might even get married to somebody. How many stories like that have you heard? Probably a lot, right? It's kind of challenging because you'd like to think, well, they'll be okay with it so long as it's handled in a certain manner. I guess that's acceptable behavior. But can I tell you, what is it? I don't know what it looks like. But between meeting Michael and meeting some of the people that invited me into their life here at Walmart, why wouldn't you want to work at your local Walmart and connect with your local neighbors? Or maybe you want to move somewhere and you work at that Walmart, and guess what? Your life transitions there. You get involved in the community, and maybe you do part ways with Walmart. Or maybe you stay there. Who knows? I would have thought that it would have been a great place to hand out my CDs, Walmart. I didn't do that because my CDs weren't done yet. During the time me working here, I also met a producer that was right up the road. He had a studio in the area back here at his house in the basement. And I remember thinking to myself, I wish I had a house with a home studio in it. Why didn't I at the place I lived? Because it wasn't my house. If it was my house, I would have say. If it was in my house, I would have it in writing with the bank, it's mine, or whoever. I would like to say my house is owned by me. I don't even have a debt to it. I have something to offer in exchange for a life that I would not even have to be in debt for a house. Don't you think it's ridiculous we're all living in debt? We're not supposed to be living in debt. We're supposed to be living in life and receive things in freedom. All right? Read the Bible. Get to know God. The difference with Jesus Christ. Read books of psychology. Don't fall in agreement with just anybody. He invited me to his place, and he dressed really nicely, and he gave me a Christmas gift, which was a white jewelry box. It opened up. Did it play music, do you think? Had a mirror in it? Necklace. He didn't really have a whole lot of jewelry, but it was one of the sweetest gifts. It was white. I like white because I suffer from major depression. I may seem happy now, but I realize it is my thoughts. I can easily backslide. I try not to be too boastful about things because I know that detailed circumstances really do matter. a person can become major depression if they have been known before in the past, just like bipolar. At any given time, their whole personality could shift over. We're transitional existences, people. We're emotional existences too, and we can swing. There is no one that's it. Unless you're getting deep and you're talking about Jesus Christ and the fruits of who Jesus Christ is, and then trying to become very Christ-like. How close to Christ-like can we become? I want to be all that Christ is leading me to be. Very loving, patient. And someday we might go through the whole fruits of the Spirit of the tree of life, which is Jesus Christ. I love Jesus for what it means to me. I need Jesus. If I didn't have Jesus, I would not be here today. I realize that's a lot of stuff happened in my life to make it very clear to me. I have Jesus is my hope for a real life. Now, CJ, if you're out there, I don't know if you're still alive. I love you. And I'm thinking maybe someday of driving to the apartment that I once visited you at. You gave me that wonderful gift. I remember you kind of wanted different with me. I just wanted to be a good friend. It's amazing how people like that can touch our lives. I can imagine what it was like for him showing up at Walmart and I wasn't there anymore. You think he still sat there and would reminisce? I'm convinced. Walmart probably has it on camera. I met a lot of kind people, and occasionally when I would go in here to go for groceries, just like I'm going to go for today, I usually go to the Huber Heights. That's where I used to live, my house. My name's on that house, several places. And I used to go for groceries there at Walmart. I'm one of those people that has a hard time letting go of certain things. You want the life that you always had. Don't you want the whole life that you ever had, and you want to contain it, not to smother it, but we're in a position where we have to let that life be, and it's always going to be there. My life is always going to be in Huber Heights, the life that I had. But understand this, I was not anywhere close to acknowledging it, and I would have to say 2011 I wish I could erase, but then I would have to erase all the life that I had within it. And one of those would be working at Walmart. Mentally, I can't work at Walmart. I have a calling on my life. If I'm being honest, it's a rock and roll ministry. Worship leader, not your idea of a worship leader. Please let us not say this is what a worship leader should look like. Maybe it wears a cat costume, cheerleading outfit, a schoolgirl outfit. Maybe it wears a thong. Fluffs its hair up blonde with glossy red lipstick, smiles a lot, rolls its eyes. Maybe. Might not be approved of by everyone, but it's for someone. If for only God's pleasure, who knows? So here's the thing. I really love CJ. Him and Michael made my life amazing. God gives us people like that once in a while. In my opinion, as a means of acknowledging that God is with us and cares. We're not alone. This was not for me. Mentally, I can't conform. The life that was here for me, it was for me. But the position, really not for me. You'll find out. That's why I'm really mad, Donald Trump, because I found out that people were invading my privacy and using things I talk about in the privacy of my home, all of my ideas. They were not meant for other people. And just my ideas alone, if I were to receive a royalty, fairly, reasonably, I would be very well to do. Might even make you jealous. No offense, I just have a lot of great ideas. Now I understand why Dayton, Ohio has once been known as the place for the most patents. In my opinion, it's because it's a very corrupted place that invades the privacy of people who are inventors, people who are creators. There's a lot of criminal misconduct that's out here. I mean, it's probably through the whole United States. Patents. Why do people patent ideas? So if anybody uses the idea, you can sue them for taking your idea. You're entitled to life with it. The ideas are yours for your life, not for people to invade your privacy and take off with them. Welcome to Dayton, Ohio. This is what happened to me. So I mentioned about the dream. There was another dream I had here at Walmart I'm going to talk about really quickly. I got two more subjects. I had a dream that I was working at Walmart at the cash register, this one here, this Walmart, and guess what? I ended up jumping on top of the cash register belt, and I started screaming and preaching out that Walmart was a slave shop. What do you think of that? In other words, though we have become humanly conditioned that it's acceptable environment to buy food, to work at, this is normal everyday operation, it seems pretty safe, innocent. But the truth of the matter is it's slave labor. And in other words, most people are laboring against their heart's desires. I mentioned about how I ended up leaving Walmart thereafter. With a dream, God asked me to go to Las Vegas, and we talked about that. Can I tell you in a summary that I used to hope for the day that I would be well enough to do financially that I could shop at other stores with quality clothing, food, just everything in general. I want you to know this. I still do. But here's the thing. I realize that even though with me working here and learning all that I did, and I could go on and on and on and on and on about that, and maybe someday I will. So I'm going to take more notes and see what comes up to me while I'm watching this. I watch all of this again. I want to heal Walmart. I don't want to say that I should have never worked there. I'm glad that I did. This is my Walmart. The Walmart that gave me a chance since FedEx. FedEx is the company that gave me my first job. It was seasonal. It was approximately 6 to 8 weeks. And it was told to me, most likely this will be the only, I can work the following season, but it was a seasonal position. So I thought at that time, imagine working for FedEx as a seasonal position on a regular basis. Why not? I was thinking about doing that when I was here. The problem is, it's not where my heart wants to be. And if FedEx was honest, they would say, Tracilyn, you have different gifts. Use them. Enjoy your life. and receive all the blessings that go along with having something to offer in exchange for a beautiful life. Maybe someday FedEx will be transporting a lot of Tracilyn's music and hard copies and merchandise with my name on it. And I'll say, you're right, FedEx. This one's for you. It's free. My little package I made for you as a way to say thank you for giving me my first job as a female. My true self is what it is in the becoming. Walmart and the bank that I worked here, well, not the bank, RightPad is still my bank that I use. I don't want to say anything about Bank of America, but I love Bank of America. I have a credit card, Bank of America, and as an escort, I dealt all my business with Bank of America. I liked a lot of their layouts. They have style and taste, and the fact that they would get a lot of the older facilities like railroad houses and stuff and convert them into banks. I used to really enjoy that. I don't have any problems. I do understand differences and variances in interest rates and stuff like that. Credit union is usually the realm for me to go, mainly because of finances, financial reasons. And most of the time they are pretty good with us in getting credit cards, choice, emergency purposes. Never let go of a credit card. God has it there for a reason. Be disciplined with it and keep it for emergency purposes solely. Or if you want to treat yourself to something nice, but know it comes with a price, right? If I wouldn't have had my credit cards, I would have ended up on the streets, probably dead. And it's all lack of responsibility in our government leadership, the leadership of this country, period. I say to the leadership, shame, shame, shame on you. You all deserve corner time. You all should have to stand in line in the old-fashioned way. God says, spare the rod, spoil the child. Maybe they need the twitch or the switch. The switch, the twitch. They need a good sound spanking is what they need, most likely. We all do. And we need to be reminded that we can do much better. Now, myself included, and I don't mind being with someone special who likes to spank. I'm kind of past those days. I used to love being spanked and play, not abused. Now I just want to be with somebody that wants to hold me once in a while. Laugh together. Do stuff together. Somebody very attractive with a really nice vehicle. Have Italian blood in me. Have a busy life and they could use a personal assistant. I just need enough time to record all my music. I got 4 more albums to go, and because people are invading my privacy, there's a good chance I will never record after that except for Christmas music. Because of that. I don't want to be used as a resource. It's pathetic. I could have wrote hundreds of songs. If the people in the music industry were not selfish, and let's just face it, selfish to me, maybe not to everybody, but to me they were. God's going to arrange it. And I'm going to be able to pull a David Lee Roth like on Yankee Rose. Don't be surprised if it's not in that exact outfit. And I get to rub my ass in front of the faces of everybody who said anything in opposition to, wow, you have something absolutely wonderful to offer the music industry. Instead of, sorry, can't help you here, not interested. I even had somebody hang up on the phone on me down in Nashville because I simply said, when they said, how do you see yourself? And I said, the Bon Jovi of country music. Click. They hung up on me. Now, either they didn't care for Bon Jovi or they didn't care for people wanting to be like other people. Well, today, I don't want to be like Bon Jovi. There's things that people in the music industry do that I, of course, love. And I want the memories of things like when I saw the video for You Give Love a Bad Name, and remember John's face when it appears on the screen and you're laughing. Him and Richie are playing with the guitars coming at each other. Explosions. I want those memories to stay in my childhood. They're part of what made me me. But can I tell you the truth? Once I realized a lot of the other things I realized, that was 30 years ago plus. I don't want that in my life today. That is part of what made me who I am. Things like that. And therefore, it's not these rock and rollers who turn me down. Brett just kind of blew me off. But the truth of the matter is, I'm glad that he did. Chances are I wouldn't want to be around anybody like him. That's just the truth of who I am. And chances are he probably knows that. If he doesn't, he does now. Now, I'm not saying this is a slave shop, but in my mindset, I can't keep going against the grain of my heart. God's calling me into a rock and roll ministry, and I got to be committed 24 hours, 7 days a week. Now, what it looks like is not fair for anybody else to dictate. It has to take shape, and it's becoming. Right now, we are cleansing up 2009 since coming to Ohio with what? I am on this bridge. I'm ready to jump off the bridge. I am tired of being harassed by the police. I am tired of, in the transition of losing my home, my dog, everything in my life I care about. I want to transition and get SRS, doctor. Look, doctor. I want SRS. I want to take my Audi and make it an innie to line up the thoughts in my head. Will you help? No, because why? Because I don't have money. That's exactly why, Tracilyn. We're not going to help you unless you give us money. Well, why doesn't the government put it on Medicare? I can go to any doctor I want to go to. It's called the Tracilyn something. When the time comes, and I have a lot of investigating to do because they said a lot's going to change in the next 10 or 20 years. My doctor knew it was going to take time if I was lucky to get SRS. It costs money. There's high maintenance to take care of yourself afterwards. We're touch base with SRS. Remind me. Some people call it GRS. Gender reassignment surgery. In my opinion, they're not reassigning anything. They're simply making things right in alignment with your way of thinking. Gender identity starts up here, baby. And nobody can tell you what it is. You have to acknowledge it. And it might not be boy or girl to you. It might be something in the middle or something we never even heard of. Confusing as though as it is, I identify solely as female. When I was reading the Bible, that's the conclusion I came to. And I still am very content and very happy. I love that part. I love being woman. I love being a lady. I want to be more lady. More of the fruits of the Spirit, which in my opinion leads you into femininity. Other people might not like that. Well, for me, it's leading me closer to a Christ-like presentation that is very motherly, very femme, very sexual. The energy is a lot different. A lot of people don't want to hear you talking about Christ like that. I know. That's what Christ is doing to me. Made it very clear I love Italian people. Masculine energy. I'll probably end up being with a girl. I realized that, listen, guys, in all honesty, I learned that guys pretty much just want to have sex with me, and that's it. Well, I can relate to girls probably better in that aspect, and the fact that there's more to life than just sex. I want sex to be a very important ingredient in my relationship with you. Well, I could have sex probably once a week, 3 times a week, and I'd be okay. I want to live, man. I want to have common interests. I want a best friend. Friends, associates, people you work on projects with. And if things lead to sex, they do. But in my opinion, especially with the music ministry, I'd rather not. I don't want to sleep with musicians and stuff. I don't want it. If that's what you think you're going to get with me, I'm laughing in your face. Go sleep with someone else. By the way, there's lots of adult entertainers. They need a paycheck. They need some freedom. Why don't you help them fight for their right in the fact that the government should reshift that law? There should not be a prostitution law. Should not be defined as exchanging money for sex. That's not prostitution. That's an agreement. That's none of the government's business when it's done between 2 parties, unless there is a rape or something else going in process. My opinion very strongly. I'm sure a lot of people could understand that. Now, I'm pretty much done. With this being said, I'm going to go get some groceries. I'm hungry for real food, and there is some real food in here. Fruits, vegetables, organic spinach. Donald Trump, I wish I could eat like this on a regular basis. Do you realize that if the American people realize that if they eat healthy, the healthier they eat, the less prescriptions they need? If the prescription's even helping them in that area that is prescribed for. Their whole illusion of who they are, their presentations would be much different. There is a lot of unhealthiness just in the food department. To each his own. Because we've seen many people who were vegans that may have appeared to be sick. I have a mental sickness. It's called I want to live very freely and fulfill every desire of my heart. The rock and roll ministry with a house, not filled, but a house with people. Organized in a manner, housing together in a manner that is supportive of the property, the ministry, and emotional support for each other. Unfortunately, we're going to talk about the house ministry part coming up, because I've learned when you're living in a house and somebody has all the say, and they don't know their ass from a hole in a wall when it comes to bringing people into the house appropriately. All it is just throwing bodies in with each other, and pretty much everybody fights it out. You bring people in properly, requiring that they respect each other. The house property and the house has serious needs that need to be divvied up amongst the household. The reason we're actually staying there, how we're going to be able to support each other. It is a requirement in writing. It goes on through the details. Do I give all my secrets away? I learned a lot of what not to do while living in Huber Heights. I tried reaching out to the owner many times, and he did not want to hear it. He knew what was best, and that was pretty much let it alone, Tracilyn. But then why am I here? Exactly. Move. He was notorious for telling me to move. I don't want to hear those words. In fact, I've been living somewhere now for almost 4 years, and I've not once heard move. Thank you for that. Living with people by word or doing anything with other people by word saying that you're going to commit, I have found don't do it. Don't do it. Make them put it in writing. If they don't want to put it in writing, then you don't want to do it. Why? Because they don't want to bound to anything in writing. Because that means they have to abide to it. And in a lot of cases, I could have went and I could have got a lawyer and I could have sued and we could have done this and we could have done that. I don't want to spend the rest of my life fighting. This is how I ended up out of Walmart. I don't really have a place to live. Donald Trump, I'm not educated enough to understand where I should go to get my needs met. I'm not aware so much of, I had lots of tendency of forgetting, a lot of stress, forgetting about low income. How do we get low income housing? How do we get food assistance, food pantries? All of these wondrous ways of getting our needs met. But I don't know exactly what the detailed information of the answer should be, but we're going to go through this and figure this out. Because I got to tell you, I'm seriously upset and disappointed that I don't have the very best insurance in America, that I don't have access to eating the healthiest food and water in America, that I don't have a beautiful house in a beautiful location with beautiful scenery in America, that I don't have a brand new car with the best of everything in America, that I made by Americans, not Chinese, as well, the very best of everything. I have something to exchange for a beautiful life. That's up here. Many people would tell you, money doesn't make you happy. No, but if they were honest with you, they would tell you that the freedom that money provides is what does make you happy. Freedom is fun. Freedom is appropriate and healthy. Freely do something and feel how good it feels. Many people will tell you that many people have all of this and they're never happy. Yeah, you know why? Because they didn't fulfill their heart's desires of what they're truly here on this earth to do and to be. And it goes into the details of how you present yourself and just how you are, who you are, the kind of people you hang with, where you live, all that stuff. Just because people have large amounts of possessions or they're extremely rich doesn't mean they're intelligent. They may have intelligence to have all of this, or they may be very crooked. But they might not have the intelligence here to understand what true life is. It's written in Scripture that it is easier to get a camel through the eye hole of a needle, hallelujah, than it is a rich person into the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is in your head, sweetheart. It's the perfect you and the perfect life that you desire. God's Word, Holy Bible, is what helps us and aids us in getting there. For God, nothing's impossible. Nothing's impossible for what? God can get you to the life inside your head. You may have to go through a lot to get there. A lot of it is lack of compassion in the people you cross paths with. It's a lack of support in your local community, lack of intelligence, and how to deal with situations that happen repetitively. Really? Social worker didn't know how to make this happen? Mental hospitals didn't know how to get my true needs met? I have to keep living with these people, just be homeless? Do you know how many mental hospitals they didn't know what to do? They don't know what to do? Why don't they know what to do? Why aren't they fired because they don't know what to do? Why aren't they sued because they don't know what to do? Sue your mental hospital if you ever go in there and they don't know what to do. When you're homeless, they should know exactly what to do. Get you housing assistance, a social worker, a psychologist. Make sure you have somewhere safe to stay that night. Stay in the hospital, or hey, Mr. and Mrs. Government, how about that hotel voucher? We shouldn't have to call local churches. Government, we have an emergency here. Tracilyn is homeless. We find it that her living environment is totally unhealthy, mentally, psychologically, and she needs new housing. But we can't just put her in any housing, right, Mr. and Mrs. Government? We have to seriously analyze where she's at, what her true needs are, anything from location, parking spaces, come and go as you need to freely. What are her personal needs? Because this could be long-term. It could be long-term. It could be the rest of her life. Well, the government has a lot of other things going on. Well, I'm saying the government, in my opinion, should have made this a priority a long time ago, and now it's time for them to do it. Okay, and same with Ohio. I have transsexual females that I talk to once in a while. That whole birth certificate thing, it's time to get your ass in gear, Mr. Governor, or whoever's in charge of that. Okay, birth certificates should have gone by the identity in the brain, not by a body part. Hey, Mr. Governor, look at this. Maybe I should put this on the adult channel, and I can show you, okay? I identify as female here, but I got a different body part, Mr. Governor. And we're learning now that what? The respectful thing is to respect what's in the person's mind, not a little body part. Although we should respect it all. And I don't like, still to this day, that I hear of girls having a hard time getting the birth certificate and their legal documents realigned to the way of thinking. Especially when psychological studies and notes from their psychologist, their psychiatrist, mental hospitals says it's time to stop acting like we are above the rest of the country who has fallen into agreement with respecting that on the birth certificate it should match the identity of one's brain, not a body part. In many situations, especially when I'm at my best, you will find out that someone who identifies as lady, the presentation is much different than somebody who identifies as man. It's not about a body part. So to the other girls in the community that are here in Ohio, I'm sorry, I don't like to hear it. I don't like to hear it. I want to be involved more. I want to stay true to my rock and roll and stuff and my music ministry, my true passion. I don't want to live in the caboose of the country. Meaning I love Ohio very much, which means we need to get up there and be at least a, what, third, fourth car in line. We need to stop letting everybody else in the country get one above us. Why does California always go first? Why does New York always go first? Why does Pennsylvania get to go first? Do you know that? Why? They call it politics. Well, this is where we got to get political. It's time to realign things in Ohio in favor for what is real. Transsexualism is very real. And technically, we are transitional existences, which means when a person says, I'm now transitioning to female, then everything should go along with it because she's becoming. And let me tell you, when it's analyzed by a psychiatrist that this person has identified female ever since they were at birth, or male, both of them. I'm for female because of me being a transsexual female. The bottom line is we need to line everything up since birth that way. And then that helps us in our life, because a lot of people aren't like Tracilyn that want to go through life just telling everybody you're a transsexual female. Some people want to live a much different life, and I can respect that because I kind of thought that I wanted that. And the truth of the matter is, I like to be free with it, and I'm okay to tell people I'm a transsexual female. In fact, I prefer it because if not, that is how a lot of the girls in the community end up getting killed and all kinds of gruesome, horrible things. Because people discover that they're transsexual, and then it really upsets them. I'd rather just be honest up front. Not honest. It's not, hold on a minute. I'm sorry. It's not about being honest. I'd rather tell them, and I'd rather be informative up front. I'm a transsexual female, not your idea of a female. I have an Audi, not an Indy. It's not like I didn't want to correct that or realign it or adjust it or do cosmetic, whatever you want to. However you want to announce it at this time. I don't want to be respectful or disrespectful of what people acknowledge it as. That's a whole nother story. I will explain that more. Do I want SRS? Most likely Tracilyn wants to get SRS. And that's a huge disappointment to guys that want to date a transsexual female, and a lot of times it's because the guy's not openly admitting that what? In a sense, he may be very attracted to a female, but he wants more of what a female would consider is a socialized condition of a gay experience. There are some people who are considered bottoms in the community, and there's some people who are considered tops, which is what I gravitate to. You know, I like tops. I'm very comfortable with being a bottom. However, when you are with the right person or people, who knows what could happen? We don't know what could happen. So I've learned to just shut my mouth. I'm going to close the camera right now. I'm bleeding out toxins in my thoughts. Walmart, York Commons, Dayton, Ohio. Thank you to all the customers. I love the holiday season with all of you. I appreciate all those who just came here just to visit me, to all those who invited me into their life, to all those that gave me a hug while at work, even on or off the clock. I appreciate those who sat with me outside, smoked a cigarette with me, let me bum a cigarette off of you. For all those that comforted me through 2011 into the beginning of 2012. I did go to Las Vegas, and can I tell you, I've been back here from Las Vegas since 2012, shortly after. Look at my life story. So on Tracilyn right now, it's called Messages. I also have Tracilyn on YouTube. I have Tracilyn Music on Facebook page. Tracilyn21 on Facebook. You see, I wanted everything to be synchronized with Tracilyn or Tracilyn Michael. The truth of the matter is, people in the music industry, once they know that you're on a way to doing things with your name, that you are doing it with, they want to create barriers and obstacles after barriers and obstacles to make things challenging for you. Just simply to be a nuisance. They understand that this, whatever name you're going to function under, whether it's a ministry, whether it's a recording artist, whatever, you get that name, every social network page that you can get, register an account immediately with it. Immediately. Get your domain name registered as a trademark name, okay, in this country, whatever service you're providing with it, Vines Entertainment, downloadable MP3s, and know this, if they see you taking measures like that, they are going to do everything. Not they. In my situation, I bet you it's Steven. As soon as they know you want to get an account for something, they want to get that account with your name on it. They do everything they can to make things difficult. I started off with Tracilyn Ministries, which is what this is all about. Tracilyn Ministries in 2010, a friend to pretend. I ended up starting VCAT Productions. I am Tracilyn, also known as VCAT is my nickname. I have a lot of ideas for merchandise, promotional tours. The thing is, let's face it, they probably want my life. They want all of my ideas. Most likely they don't want Tracilyn. Why do you think that is? Who knows why? I don't know exactly. Mainly they want to keep things in what they call their familyhood. And that would be why the people of the earth, the circle of the rich people are always the rich people, and the circle of the poor people are not always, not all the time, but a majority. They take from the poor and they give it to themselves. And that's why I speak very openly about the electronic harassment stuff. A lot of that is for people to have control over other people's lives. With that being said, I was being watched here at Walmart. Was it through the camera system? Was it through electronic harassment? Was it through the eyes of other humans? Was it the eyes of God? The all-seeing eye. Thank you, everybody. CJ, I love you. Everyone else that was here, I love you. Michael, I love you. I have peace. Thank you, Waltons or whoever owns Walmart now. Thank you for letting me have a job that mentally I could not sustain. Because I know that in the life in my head, I'm not standing at a cash register all day. Maybe someday I will be at Walmart with my guitar and autograph signings, Tracilyn. Maybe I'll be running the cash register that day. What do you think? Probably not. They'd probably say, no, Tracilyn, we don't allow that. I get it. But it would be pretty cool, probably. Of course it would. Promotion, right, Tracilyn? I'm a business person. Yeah, you know, mentally. Ministry. Be beneficial for my ministry. Yes. I'm a business person when I say I'm a business person. Then you are. It's that easy. It's call words. Say, I am. That's the greatest command. We're like computers. I am great. I am perfect. I am love. I am goodness. I am everything I say I am. Now don't put after I am tired. I am lonely. Don't say that. Don't say it. Well, it's okay to surrender to the honesty if you want to. Get it out. But at some point in your life, you need to turn that around. And believe it or not, it will start to build you and create you strong. And you will sooner or later start to become all these wonderful things that you told yourself you are. Emotional support. And it works even better when you have friends that are willing to put positive words into you and you into them. Try it. I have a lot of ideas and tips from all the psychology I studied and, books and in person kind of stuff. Anyway, we're in closing here at York Commons. We used up all of this. I'm done talking about it. Occasionally I'll come back here with the camera and I'll point out some things maybe I missed, or I'll write down some things I might have missed. But for the most part, I didn't want to invest this much time in it, but I did. Thank you, Walmart. By the way, I've been using Walmart Pharmacy ever since I came out in 2007. I really like it for this reason, because whenever I'm traveling in the United States, if I need something, I can just transfer it to that Walmart. I think that's a blessing. And that happened to me when I was an escort, and those people who were impersonating officers took my prescription from me. I could go down to the local Wethersfield Walmart, and I got everything transferred over there. Okay, my hormones and stuff were taken from me. So, this is a great place. A lot of nice-hearted people. If you come here to York Commons, Walmart, consider things that I've shown you. Picking some things up, maybe to help out. And be kind to the associates. Who knows what they're going through in their personal life? They probably need some words of encouragement no matter where they are. It's always nice. I know that I used to work at these registers, and I'm grateful for the life that I learned through it all and the lessons learned. Gotta go. It's saying 0 minutes. I love you. Goodbye. It's time for me to be quiet. Shh, quiet. No more. Don't say nothing else.